Has the WNBA just been hit by an earthquake, or is it a catastrophic wake-up call that signals the end of their golden era? We're diving deep into a shocking rumor that has sent tremors through the league's highest offices, revealing a seismic shift that could redefine women's sports as we know it. Get ready, because the truth behind these whispers is far more unsettling than anyone could have imagined.
Also, I don't know how much longer Cathy has her job. Regardless of if you think the things that Cathy said are okay or not, in any business, have you ever seen someone be under fire so much as Cathy is and just keep their job? There's no way. It's also the timing just, I guess, couldn't be better or worse, however you want.
Sources close to the WNBA revealed that Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is reportedly in a state of full-blown panic, and it's not just baseless speculation. The league was rocked by a subtle yet undeniably potent hint from none other than Caitlin Clark herself, a suggestion that she might, and we emphasize might be considering a shocking pivot from the basketball court to the meticulously manicured greens of the LPGA. This isn't just a rumor, it's a terrifying possibility for the WNBA's future.
That Caitlin should be grateful for the money that she makes off the court. If Cathy truly feels that Caitlin should be grateful for her and grateful for the WNBA for her off-season league money, which, by the way, Caitlin had a lot of endorsement deals before she even came to the WNBA. If that is how she feels about Caitlin and it's not the reverse, not Cathy being grateful for Caitlin, that is so eye-opening.
Imagine the league's undisputed golden ticket, the generational talent who single-handedly resurrected interest in professional women's basketball, suddenly trading her iconic sneakers and a basketball for golf spikes and a driver. This isn't just about a change of sport, it's about the very symbol of the WNBA's resurgence potentially choosing a completely different path, a path that could leave the league reeling and struggling for relevance.
I wanted to come say hi and introduce myself. I play out here on tour. I'm Maria. Thank you for being out here. It's very cool what you're doing for sports, kicking ass on and off the field. But now,
and here's the Caitlin Clark effect, Morgan, with Maria Fossey and other players out here following.
That's good. A lot of fun. Made it easy. Annika, could I steal you for a second? I don't think I'll have like bigger. I can't say bad stuff on TV, but bad once together. We're doing a fun like on that side. There we go. Yeah. I'm next. Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hi, Caitlin Ewing. Nice to meet you.
I said it, the buzz from the players.
Over here, so. I'm distracting you.
For weeks.
No, y'all are trying to get finished.
Has been huge.
Somebody take this picture.
By the way, Allie, an outstanding point guard in her own right in Fulton, Mississippi. All-state.
Thanks for being here. Yeah. Good luck.
For Commissioner Engelbert and her entire executive team, this isn't merely a hypothetical scenario, it's the stuff of their deepest, most terrifying nightmares now manifesting into a very real threat. The thought of their biggest star, their most valuable asset, walking away to a different professional arena is undoubtedly causing sleepless nights and frantic closed-door meetings within the WNBA offices.
Thank you. Caitlin Clark brought her golf game to the LPGA Tour today, playing in a Pro-Am that attracted a bigger crowd than the tour often gets. Clark played at the back nine at Pelican Golf Club with...
So the burning question on everyone's mind, the one that's dominating sports talk and social media alike, is this: could such a sensational rumor actually hold a grain of truth? Is Caitlin Clark truly considering an exit from the WNBA, the league she was poised to dominate for years to come? The implications, if true, are nothing short of monumental. Or, perhaps, is this unsettling possibility merely the league's deepest, darkest fears finally catching up to them? Has the WNBA's perceived mismanagement in their handling of their brightest star created an environment where such a drastic departure isn't just plausible, but perhaps even understandable? It's a question that cuts to the very core of the league's current challenges.
Cathy Engelbert needs to resign. I am disheartened about how Nafisha characterized our conversation at league leadership. That's all you've got? You gotta go. That's a weak-ass response. I'm gonna say it one more time. That's a weak-ass response. You are the commissioner of the league. This young lady, Nafisha Collier, who's been runner-up for MVP twice, who's clearly a face and a star in the league, who's universally respected, called you out. She said, you're dismissive. She talked about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and how your comments were that they were lucky to be in the league. They should be grateful for the money that they're getting. They should be on their knees thanking the... What? What? And that's the response that you give? What kind of defense is that? Was she lying? Cathy Engelbert? Did you say that about Caitlin Clark or did you not? Did you say that about Angel Reese or did you not? Did you act that way towards Nafisha Collier or did you not? When you somebody that really has power to flex, folks don't talk about you that way on platforms like that. They might say it privately. Hell, they might say it to your face privately. They don't say it publicly because that would be you know what. She didn't care. And I have not heard one single WNBA player come speak to the defense of Cathy Engelbert. She has to go. You can't be representing players. They don't respect her, and they don't feel respected by her. We reached out and offered her an invitation to come and explain herself and explain if she really, really wanted to comment. And if so, why hasn't she commented more forcefully already? We said we heard she was not available because she's doing the NBA Finals. I'm sorry, I didn't know she was covering it. I didn't know she didn't have time to get on the phone for 10 minutes and have a conversation. My bad. That's her decision.
Inside the WNBA's corporate headquarters, the atmosphere is reportedly thick with tension, palpable enough that you could cut it with a knife. Sources describe a scene where everyone is walking on eggshells, constantly looking over their shoulders, while Commissioner Cathy Engelbert herself appears to be leading this nervous parade, grappling with the seismic implications of this developing situation. The pressure is immense, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Flying off the racks. Caitlin was signing a few autographs. I mean, she's a larger-than-life figure, and there she is.
And the reason for this unprecedented anxiety is abundantly clear. It's all because of Caitlin Clark. She is the singular player who, by all accounts, has almost single-handedly revived WNBA ticket sales, sent viewership numbers soaring to historic highs, and injected a much-needed shot of relevance into the entire league. Now, this transformative figure is being seriously linked to the LPGA, yes, the world of professional golf, a move that would undoubtedly leave an irreplaceable void. Her arrival brought an intensity and a spotlight that the WNBA hadn't seen in decades, drawing in millions of new fans and captivating a mainstream audience previously uninterested in women's basketball. She didn't just join the league, she fundamentally changed it transforming every game into a must-watch event and every highlight into a viral sensation. What makes this rumor so concerning is that Caitlin Clark's connection to professional golf isn't entirely new or out of left field. There have been previous instances where she was publicly linked to the sport, hinting at an interest and a talent beyond the basketball court, suggesting this isn't just a fleeting thought but a recurrent consideration. This past spring, she was seen on the golf course alongside none other than the legendary Nelly Korda, showcasing her impressive swing and undeniable athleticism. More tellingly, she was reportedly extended an open invitation to participate in another high-profile LPGA tournament later this fall, a clear indication that the golf world sees her immense crossover appeal and is actively pursuing her. While the WNBA grapples with a deepening crisis, the smiles on the faces of LPGA executives couldn't be brighter. They recognize the unparalleled star power Caitlin Clark possesses and the incredible boost she could bring to their sport, welcoming her with open arms and the promise of a platform that truly appreciates her unique talents. Now let's starkly contrast that enthusiastic reception with the WNBA's current deeply troubled situation. The league is mired in constant officiating controversies that erode trust, a growing chorus of unhappy and outspoken players, and a commissioner, Cathy Engelbert, who by many accounts appears utterly incapable of reading the room or understanding the sentiment of her own league, even if she were handed a detailed map and a spotlight. Given this stark disparity, the welcoming embrace of the golf world versus the perceived chaos and tone deafness within the WNBA, it's truly no wonder that whispers are growing louder, suggesting Caitlin Clark might very well be looking for a new, more appreciative playground where her talents are celebrated, not just tolerated. The undeniable truth, a stark reality that has seemingly been lost on the league's leadership, is this Caitlin Clark, with her soaring popularity and undeniable marketability, simply doesn't need the WNBA anymore to thrive or to build her empire. Her brand transcends the league itself. On the contrary, it is the WNBA desperately clinging to its newfound relevance and struggling with its internal issues that unequivocally needs Caitlin Clark to sustain its growth, its viewership, and its very existence in the mainstream sports conversation. Without her magnetic presence, the league risks fading back into obscurity, losing the incredible momentum and unprecedented attention she has generated since her electrifying debut. Her impact is immeasurable, and her absence would be devastating. She is the singular, undeniable reason why WNBA jerseys have been flying off the shelves at record-breaking speeds, why merchandise sales have skyrocketed, and why a new generation of fans are finally connecting with the league in a way they never have before. Her name alone sells out arenas and drives engagement. Every game she plays is a spectacle, a testament to her incredible talent and draw, single-handedly boosting every broadcast and every venue she graces, making the WNBA a topic of daily conversation. And yet, in a truly baffling display of strategic missteps, the league, under Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's leadership, has consistently treated its greatest asset not as an unparalleled blessing, but rather as a troublesome PR problem to be managed, controlled, and at times, even sidelined. From the very first tip-off of her professional career, Caitlin's treatment on the court quickly escalated from a sports discussion to a full-blown national conversation, sparking debates across media platforms about fairness, officiating, and the underlying dynamics within the league. The issues were glaring: a pattern of constant, excessively hard fouls against her, met with a deafening silence from officials who seemed unwilling to intervene, all compounded by the commissioner's dismissive, classic "everything's fine" response, which only served to infuriate fans and critics alike. This perceived inaction, coupled with the aggressive play, led many to openly question if there was an element of deliberate targeting and even blatant favoritism at play, making Caitlin's on-court experience unnecessarily arduous. So when images and videos emerged of Caitlin Clark on the golf course, radiating genuine happiness, smiling broadly, looking completely relaxed, and clearly enjoying herself without the constant physical battering or the weight of league politics, the contrast was impossible to ignore. Instead of seeing a happy, multifaceted athlete, the WNBA, according to insiders, immediately treated this as another potential headline to control, another narrative to spin, rather than recognizing it as a symptom of a deeper discontent. It was precisely this perceived mishandling, this stark difference in environments, that provided the fertile ground for this shocking rumor to truly take root and gain undeniable traction, fueling speculation that her future might lie elsewhere. Confidential insiders within the WNBA confirm that the panic currently gripping the offices is not mere exaggeration. It is profoundly real. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, despite her public demeanor, is acutely aware of the potentially catastrophic consequences that losing Caitlin Clark would unleash upon the entire league. Without Caitlin Clark's unparalleled star power, the WNBA's hard-won ratings would undoubtedly plummet, likely faster than a poorly struck putt skidding across wet grass, erasing years of progress and sending the league back into the ratings wilderness it only recently escaped. This isn't happening in a vacuum. The league's collective bargaining agreement negotiations are already an absolute mess, with owners reportedly furious over various issues and players rapidly losing patience with the protracted process and perceived lack of progress. Now imagine adding the bombshell of Caitlin Clark's departure to that already volatile mix. What you'd have is not just a crisis, but a public relations explosion, a media firestorm far more impactful and widespread than any record-breaking three-point shot she has ever sunk from downtown. Indeed, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is already facing intense scrutiny and is profoundly under fire for her perceived mishandling of nearly every critical aspect of the league, from the consistent chaos surrounding referee decisions to the contentious debates over player salaries, and even the often strained relationships with the media. Her leadership is being questioned at every turn, making this new threat even more precarious. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has been widely criticized as tone-deaf, condescending, and utterly out of touch by the very athletes and fans she is meant to lead. The chorus of disapproval, amplified across social media platforms, points to a leader seemingly disconnected from the realities and aspirations of her league, particularly concerning its most marketable star. This growing sentiment highlights a significant chasm between the league's leadership and its community, fostering an environment ripe for discontent and speculation about its future direction. The public has witnessed countless images of Caitlin Clark exuding pure joy and comfort with a golf club in her hands, a stark contrast to the often contentious and physically demanding environment she endures on the WNBA court. Imagine the internal turmoil Engelbert must be experiencing, scrolling through her phone only to see Caitlin Clark LPGA trending, a testament to the palpable disillusionment brewing within her own organization. This isn't just a fleeting rumor, it's a direct reflection of a deeper systemic issue, painting a vivid picture of a league failing to protect and uplift its most valuable asset. This isn't merely a speculative rumor, it's a powerful symbol representing the profound dissatisfaction and perceived mistreatment within the WNBA. The mere suggestion of Clark considering another sport, especially one that has outwardly embraced her, lays bare the league's apparent failure to adequately support and value its biggest star. This neglect has, in effect, pushed many players to consider alternative avenues where their talent, appeal, and contributions might be met with the respect and protection they deserve. So, the burning question remains, will Caitlin Clark actually abandon basketball for the golf course? While an immediate departure might be unlikely, the fact that such a scenario is even considered plausible speaks volumes about the dire straits within the WNBA. The very possibility of their generational talent seeking refuge in another sport underscores a deeply troubling narrative, revealing just how fractured and mismanaged things have become under the current leadership. Consider this: when was the last time you heard of a male superstar athlete contemplating leaving his league due to persistent issues of bad leadership or a lack of support from his commissioner? This unprecedented situation is a damning indictment of the chaotic environment Cathy Engelbert has demonstrably created. It's a crisis unique to the WNBA, highlighting a leadership vacuum that has left its most important assets vulnerable and undervalued. The repercussions of this mismanagement are far-reaching, creating a volatile atmosphere where players are increasingly unhappy, a passionate fan base is growing visibly angry, and crucial sponsors are beginning to exhibit unease. This trifecta of discontent threatens to erode the very foundations the league has worked so hard to build, signaling a potential turning point that could have lasting negative impacts on its growth and public perception. In stark contrast to the WNBA's perceived indifference, the LPGA rolled out the proverbial red carpet for Caitlin Clark last year, offering her front row access, extensive coverage, and a truly adoring reception from fans, all completely devoid of the drama that now plagues her basketball career. The golf community embraced her as the superstar she is, recognizing her immense appeal and potential, while her own league, regrettably, acted as if she were just another rookie with a decent shot, overlooking her transformative impact. Caitlin Clark, in just 2 short years, has achieved more for women's sports than many executives accomplish in an entire career, single-handedly drawing unprecedented attention and viewership. Yet, instead of safeguarding this invaluable asset, the WNBA leadership, astonishingly, permitted her to be physically targeted on the court and relentlessly mocked off of it. This egregious failure to protect their most vital player is a monumental misstep, jeopardizing not only her well-being, but the league's integrity. It's a simple yet profound truth. When a league loses the respect and trust of its star player, it risks losing its very soul and ultimately its audience. This is precisely the nightmarish scenario that Cathy Engelbert is now confronting. The league's failure to cultivate a supportive and respectful environment for its biggest draw is a critical miscalculation with potentially catastrophic consequences for its future. Whispers from inside the league paint a picture of increasingly tense executive meetings, rife with damage control, forced smiles, and an abundance of hollow corporate jargon like strategic planning and player relations enhancement. The grim translation is clear. The WNBA is in full-blown panic mode, frantically attempting to paper over cracks that are rapidly widening into chasms, all while facing an unprecedented crisis of confidence. Even if Caitlin Clark never actually departs the WNBA, the mere contemplation of such a move is devastating enough. The fact that the idea is not only plausible but widely discussed exposes the fundamental flaws in how the league operates, revealing deep-seated issues that predate Clark's arrival but have been brought into sharp focus by her treatment and potential dissatisfaction. For years, the WNBA desperately sought a mainstream superstar, someone who could transcend the sport and capture national attention. They finally found that generational talent in Caitlin Clark, yet instead of strategically building around her and nurturing her impact, they have inexplicably managed to alienate her, pushing her to the brink of exploring other professional avenues. This monumental miscalculation is a tragic irony. Meanwhile, the LPGA is observing this unfolding disaster with an almost palpable sense of quiet satisfaction, perhaps even a subtle smile. They recognize a golden opportunity, a highly marketable, universally beloved athlete with an enormous built-in fan base and a genuine natural affinity for golf. The contrast in how these two leagues perceive and value a singular talent could not be more stark. Cambridge, a city already deeply intertwined with Caitlin Clark through its various sports ventures, including existing WNBA team partnerships and major LPGA events, had inadvertently laid the groundwork for this very scenario. These established connections meant that the idea of Clark transitioning to professional golf wasn't plucked from thin air. It was rooted in pre-existing relationships and a demonstrated appreciation for her unique star power. This network of affiliations made the LPGA a surprisingly natural and deeply attractive potential landing spot, a vibrant alternative where her immense talent and undeniable marketability could be immediately recognized and celebrated. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. This burgeoning possibility wasn't just another rumor, it was the ultimate nightmare scenario for Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, a chilling premonition that struck at the core of her leadership. The terrifying realization for Engelbert was simple. If Caitlin Clark could effortlessly step into an entirely different professional sport and instantly ignite its popularity, drawing unprecedented viewership and sponsorship, then perhaps the WNBA was never truly indispensable to her meteoric rise after all. This thought alone threatened to unravel the carefully constructed narrative of the league's inherent strength, exposing a profound vulnerability and questioning who truly held the power in this burgeoning new era. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. As the whispers quickly escalated into a full-blown wildfire across the internet, an undeniable consensus began to form. Everyone, from fervent fans to seasoned sports media and even fellow players, suddenly grasped the monumental loss the WNBA stood to incur if Caitlin Clark ever decided to tee off professionally one more time on that golf course. Social media exploded overnight, a torrent of reactions ranging from genuine panic to playful speculation. The hashtag #Caitlin LPGA wasn't just trending, it dominated conversations within hours, a clear signal of the public's fascination and the undeniable leverage Clark held. Some posts were lighthearted jokes, others carried a half-serious undertone of longing, and a significant portion were outright pleas, begging her not to abandon the basketball world that had so recently embraced her. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. For Cathy Engelbert, this wasn't merely another speculative news cycle to be managed. It was a direct visceral threat aimed squarely at her already precarious reputation and the WNBA's perceived stability. Despite her persistent efforts to convince the world that the league was stronger, more vibrant, and more financially robust than ever before, the mere prospect of one golf swing from Caitlin Clark was enough to send that entire carefully crafted narrative crashing down around her. It exposed the fragile foundation upon which her claims rested, revealing how deeply the league's newfound prominence was tied to one singular, transcendent talent. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Behind the polished facade of the league offices, panic meetings reportedly erupted immediately, according to hushed whispers from inside sources. PR teams, caught completely off guard, scrambled frantically to concoct a coherent response, desperate to control the narrative before it spiraled further out of reach. But it was already far too late. By the time major sports networks picked up on the story and amplified its reach, Cathy Engelbert's name was once again trending across social media platforms, inextricably linked with Caitlin Clark's. And let's be brutally honest, those two names appearing together in the headlines have almost never spelled good news for the commissioner, consistently signaling controversy and challenges rather than triumph. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The stark reality was unflattering, to say the least, for the Professional Basketball League. In a striking display of competitive hospitality, the LPGA had not just welcomed Caitlin Clark, they had literally built an entire celebratory event around her appearance, transforming it into a must-see spectacle. The contrast in treatment was nothing short of astonishing when Clark graced an LPGA event with her presence. Organizers treated her with the reverence typically reserved for royalty, recognizing and amplifying her star power. Yet, when she stepped onto a WNBA court, the experience often felt markedly different, with questionable officiating seemingly turning a blind eye to obvious fouls, creating a narrative of unfairness and a distinct lack of the same celebratory embrace. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. And honestly, the WNBA in many ways brought this critical situation upon itself. Instead of wholeheartedly embracing the unprecedented moment and strategically building their entire marketing and protection strategy around their undeniable superstar, they seemed to stumble, creating an environment that, at times, felt less than fully supportive. The truth, as simple as it is undeniable, remains Caitlin Clark is the singular driving force behind the explosion of interest and viewership that the WNBA currently enjoys. Without her unparalleled appeal, much of the newfound attention and excitement simply wouldn't exist. The whispers are growing louder, suggesting that fans and perhaps even Caitlin herself are being subtly directed to find their enthusiasm and support elsewhere. It's a stark reality check for the WNBA, as their missteps are inadvertently cultivating fertile ground for rivals to harvest the very success that was once within their grasp. While the WNBA struggles to understand the magnitude of the phenomenon they've been handed, other leagues are watching, learning, and ready to pounce. Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, is reportedly learning this painful lesson in the most public and unforgiving way imaginable. What's truly shocking is how another league, the LPGA, has not only recognized the opportunity, but is already masterfully capitalizing on it. They've begun dropping strategic hints about potential long-term collaborations, lucrative brand deals, and even special celebrity appearances, all designed to subtly court the very star the WNBA seems intent on alienating. It's an almost effortless strategy for the LPGA. Every single time Caitlin Clark's name is even tangentially linked to the world of golf, their social media metrics explode, their engagement skyrockets, and their brand visibility reaches unprecedented heights. They don't have to launch expensive campaigns or craft elaborate strategies. All they need to do is stand back and watch the WNBA continue to stumble, creating a vacuum that the LPGA is more than happy to fill. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, the contrast couldn't be starker. While Cathy Engelbert is likely polishing her next carefully worded "we value our players" speech, the league's owners are reportedly compiling a very different kind of list, one of potential replacements. Let's be brutally honest, if these alarming rumors continue to circulate and gain traction, someone at the top will inevitably have to shoulder the blame for this colossal mismanagement. Even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is reportedly growing weary of the WNBA's constant stream of controversy dominating headlines every other week. His mandate was to oversee the league's explosive growth, not its agonizingly slow-motion collapse into disarray. And in those increasingly tense, high-stakes meetings about the WNBA's future, one name, above all others, continues to emerge as the central point of concern: Cathy Engelbert. It's a bizarre, almost unbelievable situation. Cathy Engelbert appears to be the only leader in professional sports capable of taking a bona fide golden era, a moment of unprecedented public interest and potential, and somehow morphing it into a perpetual crisis meeting. Now she's trapped in an unenviable position, scrambling to assure the public that everything is perfectly fine, even as her own league openly questions her leadership. The most astonishing part, Caitlin Clark doesn't even have to utter a single word to wield this immense power. All it takes for Caitlin is a casual appearance at a golf course, a simple swing of a club, or even just a smiling photo posted to her Instagram feed, and the ripple effects are immediate and profound. That seemingly innocuous act is enough to send Cathy Engelbert and her team into yet another frantic round of strategic discussions and damage control, desperately trying to understand and mitigate the impact of a star they seem unable to properly manage. The power dynamic has fundamentally and irrevocably shifted. The WNBA commissioner, once the figurehead of authority, is now perpetually playing defense, reacting to events rather than dictating them. It's a truly poetic turn of events, especially considering that for years, players were constantly reminded to be grateful for their platform. Now, the platform itself is practically praying that its most valuable players don't decide to walk away. The undeniable truth, stripped bare, is this. The WNBA desperately needed Caitlin Clark more than Caitlin Clark ever needed the WNBA. And Cathy Engelbert, through a series of baffling decisions and apparent oversight, is finally confronting the harsh, undeniable consequences of forgetting that crucial reality. The league's future hangs precariously in the balance, a direct result of this profound miscalculation. So what chilling developments await us next in this unfolding drama? If history offers any reliable indicator, we are hurtling towards an inevitable showdown. The league's owners are poised to demand rigorous accountability. The players will undoubtedly push for significant lasting change. And the fans, the lifeblood of any sport, will continue to watch with bated breath, eager to see if the WNBA can finally learn how to cherish and protect its brightest stars instead of consistently driving them away. Feeve blank lines. Cathy Engelbert, quite frankly, cannot afford another catastrophic public relations disaster. The stakes are too high, the spotlight too intense, and the patience of those who matter most is wearing dangerously thin. Everyone, from casual fans to seasoned insiders, recognizes this for what it truly is, a glaring leadership failure. And if Caitlin Clark ever makes the monumental decision to permanently trade her basketball shoes for golf cleats, that failure will be etched into permanent history, an indelible stain on the league's legacy. So I have to ask, would Caitlin Clark truly consider walking away from the WNBA to embrace a full-time career with the LPGA? Or is this entire golf saga simply a powerful warning shot, a desperate plea to a league that has seemingly forgotten who truly made it relevant in the first place? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you found this insightful, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next in this unbelievable story.